three plus one more game left. Is there anything on the football field you haven't done you'd like to do?
I can think of a few things. Reception touchdown, throwing touchdown. As long as I'm in the end zone, that's fine.
Well, you've thrown one.
I feel like I have. I don't
know.
Yeah, I mean, you have to check it.
You just want to throw more. That's what, if you have.
I mean, it is what it is.
Is there a position or something that you time's kind of running out? Is there anything you kind of like to try? Or?
I don't really care. It's honestly like whatever they just have me do. It's like, okay, all right. And then I go in there and just try to do it to the best of my ability. So
the defense UW had against you, that was probably about the most effective, I guess, in stopping what you do. Was there something they did in particular, or did you mess it up, or was there something?
I mean, they did scheme it well. Of course, they're gonna do what they can to try and stop that and game plan against it. But I mean, I think it really just boiled down to our execution of it and dialing it in there. I think there probably was a crease front side I could have hit, but I was just thinking backside on it. So,
given that those two, I think it was third and fourth down, didn't work. How much, I guess, joy did you take out of the next time you guys, where Ben moved into your spot and you went out and threw a block for him and they scored a touchdown? Was that kind of like feel like, oh, here's a counter for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, it was a great play. We had a good look, and then it just was executed well, and that's kind of what happens. I don't think they were expecting it either.
No, that's what I meant. But did you feel like, okay, you guys stop me here? We've got another one here for you to stop, and they couldn't do anything about it.
Oh yeah.
I was wondering how you felt about it.
There's a little fire under me, of course. Especially with the what was it? Was it end of the third quarter? I think start of the fourth. So it was a close game.
Yeah.
Just had to make a play, and we ended up doing it. So.
Yeah.
Just as a team, how are you feeling about where you guys are with pass protection and what you've been able to do there?
I think pass protection's been fine. I mean, I don't think it's been too much of an issue. It's just being able to tighten things up and get ready this Saturday to play against another really good defense. So.
You talked in camp about wanting to be more consistent this year. How do you feel like that's played out for yourself?
For me personally, I feel like I've been consistent with what I'm working on. My biggest aspect right now is just staying healthy and catching everything that's thrown my way. So just me focusing on that and just keeping the basics. The basics has been my main focus. So personally, I feel like I've been very consistent. It may not seem like that to the naked eye of the fans and whoever's watching behind closed doors, but I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing good. And I know what I need to work on. So personally, I feel like I've been consistent with what I want to do and my personal goals.
Three weeks left in the season. How do you get the passing game up to a level that is really going to make an impact?
The way we get the passing game to the level that we want to and want to impact is just basically just having getting back to that dominant run game that we usually have, and when that's dominant, it opens up the pass plays, it opens up those downfield passes and all that. So once we are 100%, every 11 player on that offense is giving their 110 effort. I feel like that's just what's going to start separating our offense, and we're going to have more of those explosive plays in the pass game, and that's one thing that's been deterring our offense from winning these games and having these big plays is just not being all team sound on 11 of those positions. So our main thing is just once we're on that field, you got to give it your all. Like every player getting the ball, no matter if it's run or block. So that's been our biggest factor on having our pass game up to par.
What was that like Friday? Playing in those conditions to win in the passing game? How much of a challenge was that?
It's challenging, but it's a miracle. The weather shouldn't affect how you play. Regardless, you should always be ready to go. And we didn't really have as many pass plays that game, so who knows, who could tell? And just the opportunities just wasn't looking as good for us in pregame and everything. So that took a huge toll on us before the game even started, just how that ball was looking, pregame warm-ups and all that, and how crazy the wind was. So that probably has to do with our coaches feeling more comfortable and seeing how our quarterbacks is being more comfortable and how uncomfortable they were in those situations and conditions out there. So I feel
just wondering because if the ball is supposed to go here and the wind takes over here, that must have been hard to deal with at times.
Yeah, totally it was. But I feel like, like I said, it's America. If you have dreams, aspirations of playing on the next level, the weather conditions is crazy wherever you go. So you have to get used to it now. And those are one of those games I feel like we just it affected us in a huge way, obviously, in our past game.
Yeah.
How are you feeling just about the past game as a whole, as far as executing all the different parts that make those plays successful?
Repeat that? My bad.
Just how are you feeling about the past game as a whole, and executing every single player on the field, executing what they need to do to make those plays successful?
Yeah, I feel confident about our offense. I still do, and since camp, I have been feeling the same way about our offense. We have those players. We have a lot of young guys at the receiver position making plays. A lot of guys who were 2 last year is making a lot more plays at the 1. Anthony Gould, Silas Bowden, you got Trayshawn, and other guys, making those huge plays. And like I said, when you have all those guys in one room making plays, it gives me confidence. It gives other people confidence at the receiver position to want to, go harder, work on whatever those dudes is working on in the offseason and staying up to par. But like I said, just the basics stay the basics. The wideouts just keep doing what they're doing, running routes, be consistent, and that's all we can do. We can only control what we can, and what our job is to do is just to run routes, getting the holes where you supposed to sit down and stay there so the other people can get open.